Hi everyone, welcome to our first masterclass, Getting Started with Web Push Notifications. My name is Christy and I work as a Customer Success Manager with Izudo. So yeah, that's the basic introduction. Firstly, I just want to tell you that by informing to the series, you have already taken the first step to take your business to the next level. I'm assuming that by now everyone must have added their website to the Izuto account and have also started experimenting the tool. In case you haven't, I would really recommend that you start doing that. Okay then. Right, so let's get started with this. So in this webinar, we would basically be covering the fundamentals of web push notifications. For instance, how do they work? What is that you need to start with it, etc. and etc. So the broad topics that we would be looking into in this webinar is basically understanding the web push notifications, like what exactly are they, what is the anatomy like, right? And then we would briefly check how to implement web push notifications on your website, particularly in this case with Izuto. We would also see how to build your marketing list and of course how to improve your subscription rate. Cool, let's dive in then. Okay, web push notification. I'm pretty sure that you must have heard about it and actually even seen it on a bunch of websites, right? But if you have not, I'm afraid to say, my friend, you've been living under a rock. Yeah, because web push notifications are nothing but clickable, rich content messages that can be sent to your device by a website or a web app. They are delivered to your mobile device or desktop even when your browser is closed. That's the best part, right? These notifications can only be sent to users who have subscribed for these notifications from a particular website. Okay? And as you can see over here, here's a basic anatomy of a web push notification. There are several elements, as you can see. We have the title, obviously, the description as to what exactly it's for, a landing page URL, an icon, usually your brand logo, a banner image, and a couple of CTA buttons. Now, please note that this banner image is available only for Chrome 56 and above, while these call to action buttons are available from Chrome 48 and above only. Okay, moving forward. The first question, or let's say, if not the first question, let's say, this question is something that would have popped up in your mind by now, that why specifically web push notifications? Okay, let me paint a picture here. Imagine you are on a website and you see a pop-up that asks you to share your email and other information to receive some offer. Let's say, type in your email address to receive some freebie or something like that. If not 9 out of 10 times, I can at least vouch and say that 7 or let's say 8 out of 10 times, you would probably just ignore that message and move on. I do that, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you must be doing the same thing. But what if I tell you that browser push notifications actually receive opt-ins up to 5%? That means you can simply convert your web traffic into your subscribers with web push notifications. Now, doesn't that sound really amazing? But of course, you need to maintain a couple of hygiene checks, which we would obviously discuss in the later part of this webinar. Okay then, once let's say you have integrated web push notifications, and once a subscriber subscribes to your website, you can actually bring them back by sending them offers in those notifications. Yeah, it's that simple. But again, like I mentioned, you need to be a bit careful about a few elements which we would discuss. But think about it. You can actually retarget your subscribers. Isn't that just a wow feeling? Now, come to think of it, actually, we have I read this report by Mary Meeker, who is a venture capitalist and a former Wall Street securities analyst. She actually revealed that the number of users using ad block softwares has skyrocketed. And why wouldn't it, right? I mean, I think a lot of us, well, majority of us are already using it. According to that report which she published, around 15% of desktop users in the United States alone use ad blockers. And guess what? This number actually touches around 28% in Germany. Wow. That's like a really high number. Just imagine the quote-unquote damage it's doing to all your marketing goals and aspirations right there. I hope these reasons are enough to understand the importance of web push notifications. Okay. Next up, let's quickly look at the integration bit. Now, this is concentrated more towards Izuto, and I believe it might be redundant for some of you, so I'll just try to cover this as quickly as possible. Okay, then. What is required to basically have web push notifications on your website is just sign up. Yep, just go to, let's say, you go to izuto.com, sign up, create an account, and add the website on which you would want to implement web push notifications. Once done, you would see a pixel, which is basically a piece of JavaScript code that needs to be placed in the head section of your website. Along with that, there would be two files. One is called manifest.json, while the other is the serviceworker.js. Now, these two files need to be placed inside the root directory of your website. So that this is the part where you need like a teeny tiny help from your development team. And that's it. That's actually it. The minute that is done, your website visitors would see the subscription prompt popping up on your website, just like this. Just like this. I'll come back to the earlier slide in a bit. So let's say, my site is Myntra.com, and you come and visit my site. The minute you land up there, you would see something like Myntra.com wants to send you notifications. The minute you click on allow, voila, you become a subscriber. And not just that, I have actually set up this really pretty welcome notification so that not only you're acknowledged, you also get like a really good feeling about subscribing to my website. Right, I'll come to this bit in just a tad. Let me move to the earlier slide here. So as you can see, Izuto integrates smoothly with almost every platform out there. There's Shopify, there's WordPress, there's Magento, there's BigCommerce, you name it, you name the platform and we have it. And the integration guides for each of these platforms are available on our website. Perfect. Okay, let's move to the next bit here. Like I was saying, that the minute you subscribe to my website, you receive something known as a welcome notification which says thanks, welcome for subscribing, etc., etc. Now, how can you build your subscriber base with Izuto? Let's see that, right? Let me show you the platform. Cool. Okay, so I mentioned about welcome push notifications, right? Now, from where can you set them up? Once you log into the Izuto dashboard, this is the dashboard I'm talking about, where you see your active subscribers, the total subscribers on mobile, on desktop. You can also see a day-wise account of your subscribers, or if you want to see that what is the trend being like, you can check it from here. And you can even check a cumulative data. You would also get the details regarding which browser is most popular among your subscribers, which device type is most popular among your subscribers, and so on and so forth. Now, let's go back to the setting up of welcome notifications. Let's come over here to this option that says set welcome notification. Click here. And there you go. So once I enable this, I can basically put up a notification title, a message, an icon, and obviously a landing page URL. Now in this case, I have set it up in such a way that whenever anyone subscribes to my website, demo.izoto for the sake of it, I thank the user for subscribing and I add a 10% discount. You can even add a coupon code, or let's say you can throw in a freebie, and then add my notification icon, which would basically be my brand logo. Or if you want, you can choose something as cute as this dog with this little red bag too. Looks really nice. And the landing page URL. You can even add up a large image to it in case you want, and obviously add a couple of buttons to it too. The reason I'm just hurrying through this bit is because in the next class, basically, we would go into details about how to craft a notification, how to push out one instantly, how to schedule one, and so on and so forth. So, let's reserve that bit for our next class. Right. So coming below, as you can see, you can also set up your UTM parameters so that you can easily track the effectiveness of this welcome notification over your Google Analytics account. I would really recommend that you keep freshening up this welcome notification as per a different month, or if, as per a different festival or occasion that's there. For example, Thanksgiving was there. You can have a Thanksgiving coupon, or let's say a Black Friday discount as a welcome notification itself. Now with Christmas coming, or Christmas just around the corner, New Year's, if you have any discounts, you can even freshen that up and add, let's say, Happy New Year's, or spreading the festive cheer. Here is a small discount for you to make jolly, or something like that. And once you save this, that's it. Whenever anyone subscribes to your website, they would be welcomed with this particular notification. Right, let's move forward. Okay then, over here, as you can see, the heading says custom subscription prompts. Now, what exactly are custom subscription prompts? I'm pretty sure you must be thinking that isn't subscription prompt just like a browser thingy that comes at the very top or at the bottom of the screen and just asks you to subscribe to notifications, right? Well, again, let's create a picture over here. I'm pretty sure 9 out of 10 times you must have even faced this, that you land up on, let's say, a website, and the minute you are there, they would throw this at you and say that, oh, go ahead and please subscribe to notifications. And if possible, also give me your email address and subscribe to this newsletter, and then do this and do that. And you're like, oh, dude, come on, let me breathe first. This is exactly what happens on most of the websites, and this is exactly why a lot of times people do not get the desired subscription rate. It is important that users are actually convinced to subscribe to notifications before they are even prompted. I mean, you just landed up on that website, right? You really do not even trust that website enough to actually go ahead and say that, oh yeah, send me notifications. And this is the part which marketeers usually miss out. Now, there are multiple ways of educating your subscriber, or your possible subscriber, let's put it that way. Let me share a couple of recommended approaches with you. Now, for a user to subscribe to a website, or for the user to actually provide you that permission, he or she should show some kind of intent. Now, most of the marketeers, like I mentioned earlier, and even some developers for that matter, actually commit this mistake of asking permissions directly on the page load time. Now, this is certainly not an ideal experience, right? Like I mentioned, you just landed there. Okay, let's breathe for a bit. And this actually impacts the opt-in rates too, adversely resulting in more users actually blocking than allowing for notifications. Now, take this example here. The prompt appears, as you can see, only after I have booked my flight. So it says your payment was successful, we have emailed you a confirmation, and that's when this prompt appears. Now, it makes a lot of sense to subscribe to this website now, isn't it? Now that I have made a purchase and would like to be, informed of the next steps or have any updates. So this feels like a right time to actually prompt the user to say, hey, this so-and-so website would like to push notifications. Also, if you notice, this website is actually using a custom prompt before the actual browser prompt. So not only is this website popping the subscription prompt at an appropriate time, is also actually giving me context as to what kind of notifications I would receive. In this case, as you can see, flight delays. Now, this makes a lot of sense, right? Yes, I would want to be notified if my flight gets delayed by, let's say, 5 hours or so. I might want to plan out my meal accordingly, or catch the latest episode of some TV show or something. So this is what I'm talking about. Brands can use their own custom opt-in prompts, which resonates with their website, to trigger a sense of trust, and create like a favorable impression. And most push notification service providers provide a plethora of options where you can play around with the logo, the text, the color, anything that you can think of. And guess what? This custom prompt actually has an additional value too. Firstly, of course, it allows you to explain the value of enabling the web push, right? You can provide some context so that the person actually knows what they are subscribing for. And it also gives you the option of prompting the user again in case he or she declines. Let me show you a handy little trick here. So let's go back to the dashboard and click on Settings and click on Modify Subscription Prompt. Now, as you can see, there are a couple of designs which are available here. Nice names. It has got like dialog box, which would look something like this. The central model, as the name sounds, it would appear bang in the center. There's a full screen pop-up. This actually covers the entire screen. This is not really something that I would recommend, but yeah, for the purpose of this demo, we'd actually use this. Then there's this right sidebar, which basically appears over here, as mentioned. There's the sticky header, which we have seen getting a lot of traction. And then there's this slider box, which basically appears from somewhere here. Now, as you can see, all of these designs, there's this little edit icon everywhere. Anyone, let's just pick this up. As you can see, edit icons everywhere. So this means basically you can edit this icon and let's say upload your brand logo, or you can edit this particular text along with this text to lay the context as we had seen in the slide example. You can even customize these buttons to what you want. And now, as I was saying, that these custom prompts actually allow you to prompt the user again if he or she declines. It's actually this magic button over here. Let's say you have used up this design, right? And I come to your website, and right now I do not want to subscribe to your website notifications. So what I do is that I just simply click on later. Now, let's go back. See these magic buttons here? This is where you would customize it. So what I would say is that by setting this thing up, which says prompt user after spending X amount of seconds on a website, I would basically configure it in such a way that if the person has clicked on the later button, or let's say any other custom button which I've mentioned, custom name which I've mentioned on the button, I can prompt the user once again to subscribe to notifications. Isn't that handy? For example, let's say I set it up as 20 seconds. Next option, if you see, it says prompt user again after every X again minutes, hours, or days if there's no interaction with the subscription prompt. Let's say, I see the subscription prompt, but I'm just too lazy to click on it, or just couldn't be bothered at the time. Maybe I'm having a really bad day or something like that. So what I do is that I just ignore it and just, move across the website and just go away from there. Not to worry. What you can do is that you can set it up in such a way. Let's say I say 10 minutes. So what this means that if there is no interaction from the end user's end to the subscription prompt, you can again prompt it after this amount of time. Awesome, isn't it? Cool. So similarly, so on and so forth, there are a lot of options which will allow us to play with the subscription prompt on iZoto, and also the same holds true for the other web push service providers which are there. Okay, then back to our tech here. Okay, now the question is, who can use web push notifications? The answer? Well, actually, it's almost every business that believes in the ideology that customer is God. Yeah, well, that covers almost every business, isn't it? Well, actually, it's basically businesses who want to have a long-term relationship with their clients. They should and they definitely should experiment with web push notifications. Let me give you a couple of examples. Let's say you are a coupon affiliate website, and you offer coupons for as you can see over here, for food, let's say pizzas, or let's say for apparel, or for shoes, or for movies. Okay, now let's take the example of pizza itself. Yeah, I love pizza, so let's stick to that. So now, as a coupon affiliate website, your major goal would be that users or let's say subscribers actually engage with you in such a way that they use your coupon code and go to that particular website to redeem it, right? So how about I set up my notification in such a way that I target people who had viewed the food category or the food deals page, as it says over here, at least, let's say 5 times, or let's say more than 5 times, and haven't used any coupon code in that same time frame, or let's say in a week or so. So basically what I'm trying to do is identify those people who are foodies, but somehow they have not redeemed any of my coupon. Let's segment that particular lot and send out an offer saying, hey, 50% off on pizzas. Now, since I have not been using, or let's say I have not redeemed any coupon code, maybe I could not find the correct one, or whatever the reason might be, but my intent over here is really high because I've been viewing this food page, I will click on it. I would say order now, and there you go. As a coupon affiliate, you have managed to engage with me because you have managed to trigger that emotion, which is, yeah, well, hunger, yeah, and that, yeah, you're throwing a 50% off. Who wouldn't love that? Okay, Okay. Now let's see the example for a e-commerce website. Okay. So as an e-commerce website, let's say I have a new collection that is coming up, and I want to target those users, or I want to target those subscribers who have visited my website but just a home page and have not visited any of the product pages. Okay. So if I want to target that particular lot, I would simply once again create a segment that says, yeah, people who visited my website, or particularly people who visited the home page for at least X amount of times, but they did not go ahead, or they did not proceed forward to the product page. There you go. I just created that, and bam, notification comes to me. I click on shop now, and I'm a happy customer. So similarly, so on and so forth, we can set it up for various various industries. For example, here is another one for ticketing. You can see it talks about how you search for a flight, that departs, and didn't book a flight. Send me a notification there. Next, we also have it if you have, let's say, if you are a SaaS-based company and you have something that let's say you have a free software, or let's say your trial got over or something like that, and you would want to acquire a user then and then. Perfect, makes sense. So yeah, so this actually brings us to the end of this basic class. Hope this was helpful, and hope by now you at least have an idea about how to set up your web push notification, how to ensure that you actually prompt the user at the correct time and actually use the correct context. So yeah, that's it for now, and we'll see you in next class. Bye.